This is the legacy of the Chief Grand Master. This legacy was passed on to him directly from the founder of Snookus Roo Jiu-Jitsu. In its 4 generations, it evolved from self-defense complete to Snookus Roo, from Snookus Roo to Snookus Roo eye to eye, from Snookus Roo to eye, heart to heart. These encompass 4 generations.
My name is Professor.mp4 Prince. I've taught martial arts all of my life. I've been in martial arts teaching now over 40 some odd years. I've had the privilege of being on the floor with God. That's in the martial arts I'm speaking of, okay? My primary system of martial arts is EP system and self-defense complete. My instructor was Professor Ed Pugh. He was Dr. Powell's first adult teaching student. He predated any student that came after that point as far as teaching Snookus, all right? Well, one of the only ones that Dr. Powell had given permission to create his own system. With what he had given him, what he was able to show him, and what he retained from that. I later, with the permission of Professor Pugh, came to visit and train with Dr. Powell at 554 Atlantic Avenue. That would have been 1970, 1971. In 71, I went underground. I still kept a contact with Dr. Powell, and he used to visit Chicago periodically. In acquiring the permission to go train with Dr. Powell, I was told one thing: don't embarrass me. At any rate, I'm not going into another family. I'm just going back to the root of where my primary instructor came from. I've been a direct student in the system, not, as I was saying before about individuals saying that they've been training in such and such for X amount of years, but the only time they count is when you're in front of your teacher. I've been a direct student 7 days a week, from 7:30 in the morning till sometimes 3 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes 5 o'clock in the afternoon, for over a 37-year period, from 1984 till 2005, till the great elephant passed away. Professor Visitation used to have a dojo across the street from Dr. Powell's place. When he closed his place or closed his bookstore down, he'd come across the street and teach on Dr. Powell's floor. Professor Pugh, Professor Visitation, Dr. Powell, and Soki Brown, they all collaborated about producing the first female black belt in this hemisphere. So Professor Visitation has said to Professor Pugh, in order for that female to qualify for black belt, she had to compete in tournaments with men, and she had to win every competition. No second place, no show. Like in racing, they got win, place, or show, just win. In the Arts of Abraham, I am the Chief Great Grand Master. The Arts of Abraham, that means, the definition of the Arts of Abraham means the arts of the fathers. Those are our predecessors. Those individuals who was here long before we even knew about any martial arts. In Snookus Roo Jiu-Jitsu, I hold the rank of Chief Professor. I'm the first Chief Professor in the system itself. I'm the first Chief Professor in the system in the discipline of martial arts on an international and global level. Dr. Powell, in his foresight, he realized that there is chief instructors in all dojos, but I'm going to go one better. I'm going to make a chief professor. At this particular time in the Sanuka system, I still hold the rank of chief professor, even though one has a compound rank. The compound in the rank was being promoted to Grand Master. When the chief professorship was developed, it was developed solely for the purpose of Dr. Powell. It was only developed for two individuals. For us to be his chief professors, one has to recognize the fact, okay, what is a chief professor? How does one become a chief professor and Grand Master? It was not a rank that could be given away to someone else. It was a rank that only could be issued by the actual recipient of it. So as it stands today, there are only two individuals on the planet who actually received the rank directly from Dr. Powell himself. That is Grandmaster Bill McLeod and myself. I was the first and he was the second. Professor is the equivalent of what individuals would call in the military, from a military perspective, general. And what it is that we do is martial arts. A chief professor would be the individual who would be the inspector of the integrity, or the integrity of the rank and the integrity on the floor, as well as handling the day-to-day operations. I've had the privilege of walking with my heroes. I've had the privilege of sitting on the shoulders of giants.
Walk with him. One side deserves another.